This is the way we see it, see it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it, see it. This is the way we see it, see it. This is.
All right, y'all.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Cranston Cumberbatch.
And Kawana Norman.
Yes, and this is the way we see it. And we are doing something new today. We are streaming from two different places. Yes, but we're here and we're gonna have this show today. How you feeling, Kawana?
I'm feeling pretty good.
You feeling pretty good?
Yes.
All right. Now, I know it's been tough, now that we're doing the show and things of that nature, it's been, a little bit of a challenge for us to not talk to each other the way that we normally do until showtime. But it's been pretty interesting. Even so much so that when you've even turned me on to a new show in the interim of us talking about the other shows. So I'm excited to jump in and get in on this conversation. Right now, let's see. I guess we just start from the top. We'll start with Bel Air.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bel Air. For those who have not seen very many episodes of Bel Air, sorry for the spoiler alerts, but that's what happens. Hopefully you'll catch up so that you can be up with us when we start talking about these shows again. But Bel Air. So right now in the last episode, because it comes on tonight.
Yes, at 8:00.
Comes on tonight at 8:00 on Peacock. So those who don't know what channel it's on the streaming platform of Peacock. And so and the show, the ratings have flown to the roof. Now that there's even more people like getting into this show, which it's a really good show, like really, really good show. The topics that they hit and touch on, they are adding a little bit of some of the stuff that happened in the original Bel Air. They're touching those topics, but then they're expanding upon them on totally different ways. And I'm just loving what I'm seeing. And so in this latest episode, Will's mom has actually come to Bel Air to help celebrate his birthday. And I thought that it was interesting how from the minute she got off the plane, she's happy to see her son. And then the next minute, she's going in on the sister on the fact of how they're doing things because of how much money they have.
Exactly. Yes.
Kind of like throwing it in her face.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But how you felt about,
I actually saw some of that because it was like sometimes when Vivian should have stepped back, she didn't.
Right.
It's like she just imposed herself on their time together. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you really need to go to lunch with them? You know what I'm saying? You see
Right.
Will every day. His mother doesn't.
Yeah.
And in this, when she bought the birthday present for him, like, did you really have to do that? It's like I saw both sides.
Yeah.
But I really did see the mom side. It's like she was always trying to one up her. And I don't think that was right. That's his mother. Let her enjoy her time with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That gift that the mom got him, it was special. It was sentimental. But you had to go and give him something expensive that,
Hey, he got some, those are some top of the line Jordans. I mean, Like I think they were fresh out,
But
like brand new Jordans.
but couldn't she have done that another time?
Possible, possible. But now I also think to Aunt Viv's defense, I think that I don't think she did it. I don't think she did it maliciously. I think she did it out of innocence because she didn't really know what the mom was bringing for Will outside of herself. I mean, I'm sure she expected her to bring something, but I don't think she did it with the intent of, trying to one up the mom. Yeah, I don't think she did it with the intent to one up the mom. I think, I think she knew this was something that Will would like, and I don't think it's anything different than what she would have did for Carlton.
Oh no, she would have done that and more for Carlton, but she had to know that his mother didn't have that type of money to spend on Will like that. So I'm telling
Yeah.
you, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. So, do you think? Because I mean, you can really feel, and you can even tell when they've talked on the phone at different times throughout the series that there's this, underlying animosity between the two.
And I'm glad they touched on that. They hit on it. You
Mhm.
know, Viv just the mom. What's her name? I keep forgetting.
I know the
Um,
mom's name. I cannot think of it right now.
but his mother, she just wants Vivian to show appreciation for the sacrifices that she made for her.
Yeah.
And Vi, the mother's name is Vi. Thank
Right.
you.
Right.
Um,
Vi and Viv. Yes.
Vi, Vi
Yes.
just wants her to acknowledge that she made some sacrifices for her. Like,
Mhm.
these are the things that I did for you to get you where you are today, and you
Yeah.
never acknowledged that. So
So, you think it was more of the verbal acknowledgement that she wanted more than anything? Like,
more than anything, she wanted her to say thank you, thank you. You
for all
know,
you did for me
for all
while
exactly because
growing up. And
that's why she kept saying the things that I have done for you and mom has done for you. And that's all she wanted was for Vivian to recognize that. Just
okay, so all right, so let's let's uh let's play with that a little bit. All right, so let's say would she expect the same thing if Vi, if Viv, would Vi expect the same thing of Viv if she wasn't rich? If they was just an average family? Would she expect the same thing? Because my thought is a lot of this is
about
coming from the fact that she is now rich. She's well off. I mean, because you have to think she's not an artist, so her success did not truly come from her art, which is what Vi was helping support her to do. So she just so happened to meet a successful man, and through them supporting each other and supporting him mainly in his pursuits, they became a well-off family. And so now Viv is able to now enjoy the finer things of life based on life situation. And so do you think that it would be the same expectation if she wasn't as rich as she is?
that's a good question. I would like to think that yes, she would feel the same way because Vi isn't caught up in money.
No,
So
but
I think all she really wanted was for her little sister to acknowledge that I've done a lot for you. Because at one time Vivian was successful in her um
yeah, all right.
was successful as being an artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just wanted a thank you. She just wanted to be acknowledged.
Part of me still is riding with the fact that if she wasn't as rich as she is, I don't think the level of it would be where it is. I mean, because you can hear it every time they talk on the phone. She's always mentioning about what she's able to afford versus what Vi is not able to afford. It's almost as if she's expecting more than just. The more I talk about it out loud, it seems as though yes, she wants that verbal acknowledgement, and no, she doesn't want the money per se, like for her to like send her monthly payments, sisterly payments or whatever you want to call it. But I do think that she is a little ooh.
But think about it. Vi said something key the other day, last show. She said, and this is why I don't think the money is so important. Vi is the one who took care of the mom when she was dying.
Yeah.
She was poor health and dying. The first thing Vivian says is we sent money. But Vi's like, and
right.
What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Is that go, that's not what mom needed. So that's why I'm saying it's really not about the money. It's about I needed you to be here physically to help take care of our mother instead of sending money.
Okay, I see that as a part of it. I do see that as a part of it. So I would just say it's layered.
Yes.
There's a number of layer of emotions that Vi is dealing with when it comes to her little sister.
Exactly.
Because she is the younger sister, and it's the thing about youth, and youth doesn't always see things the way maturity sees things. Exactly. And so, depending on, we don't really have an age range of when the mother was sick and taking care of them, but we somewhere she definitely had money at the time that the mother was still ill.
Yeah, she was married. She had money.
Yeah. So yeah, and a lot of things too. Vi's personality, her demeanor, she has, and what comes across to me is that she has that take charge, mentality.
Right.
She sees what needs to be done and she just takes charge and she does it.
Exactly.
I mean, look at her sending Will to Bel Air. It was this thing happened with him, and she immediately started putting things into motion. Exactly. And next thing you know, he's gone to Bel Air.
Right.
So I say that to say that because of her take charge nature, which towards the end of the episode, when Vi and Viv actually have their chance to confront each other about it, Viv actually says, you were always a strong one. You were always, already, taking care of whatever it was. So sometimes it makes a person who's trying to see where I fit in doing this. It's like, what can I do? Because you're already doing what I would want to do, but you got such a stronghold on it that I don't know where I fit in this. So I think for Viv, the only thing she felt she could do that Vi couldn't do was give money to support.
And see, I see it differently.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, strong individuals, that's what they're perceived as. But listen, we're all human. We all, we need help. We're not, just because we're strong doesn't mean that sometimes we don't feel weak. We don't feel like we need someone to come in and rescue us. You know what I'm saying? So for Vivian to feel like, oh, you're the strong one, whatever. No, ask me if I need help. Ask me if, don't just assume that because I'm a take charge, I'm a strong individual, that I got this.
Right.
Because you just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I agree with you, because you're right. There are a lot of strong individuals that just do things, and they do it because they feel as though nobody else is going to step up to the plate. And
Exactly.
all along, they're wishing that somebody says, "Hey, how can I help?"
Exactly.
Support,
Mhm.
but at the same time, because of the pride that's also built within them,
Right.
you
Right.
feel as though you shouldn't have to ask people to help. It should be something you automatically do.
Yeah.
But you know, perception is key, and so on both sides, and I'm glad they finally had this opportunity to like really like let it all out.
Exactly. Yes.
Both perspectives can be seen so that you see that, hey, I'm not your enemy,
Yep.
and that it was actually more of a matter of honor and respect of who you are versus me not wanting to do anything or thinking I'm too good or too far removed from any of this to get my hands dirty,
Right.
or really dig in and help. And so I'm glad that they were able to see each other in that light, you know, and resolve it. Still, it's still there
It
because
is.
deep seated. It's been built in for a while of it going unspoken. So
And and now Vivian has the one thing that Vi loves more than anything in this world. She has
that's
Will.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's going to get more interesting as
Exactly. Exactly.
continues on. But at the same time, I'm thinking eventually that Vi should move on out to Bel Air too.
Honestly, that's what I would do.
I mean, everything is there. Your family's there, and it's sounding like, or it seems like it was just Vi and Will in Philly,
Exactly.
and that it was just friends, like old friends. Made
Mhm.
more work for Vi, because of the job she has. She's rooted and grounded, so it's not so easy to leave. But now that Will is in Bel Air, that's not as tough of a task on her, as it was when he was still living there.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
but I see life being easier if she moves on out to Bel Air with them, and eventually, I'm sure they'll help her find her place. To where she can be even more successful. You
Exactly.
know, um, and everything is there, and your family is there. You're with your family. And I mean, yeah. So anyway,
What about the big thing? Will's father.
the daddy.
Yes,
Mommy, where's my daddy? Tell me more about my daddy.
that's the big
Yes,
question.
yes. So yeah. So, and I know we were trying our best to not talk about this aspect of it when we saw each other, but yeah. So it is interesting that the mom wants to now tell Will, about his dad and um, about what happened between them and why he's no longer present. And, it is interesting that the mom wants to tell him at the time of celebrating his birthday. I thought that was interesting. Um, and I guess maybe she's looking at it from a perspective of, I want to tell him now while I'm seeing him because I don't know when I'm going to see him physically again. So while I
Exactly.
have him face to face, I think this would be a great time for me to take advantage of the time and try to resolve this,
Yes. And I
question that we.
and I'm thinking Will had been asking all along
Mm,
about his father, and she didn't think he was ready. But
mm,
now that he's turned 17, she feels like it's time.
mm.
And I agree with you. She felt like seeing him face to face, let's do this. Let's have this talk, you know. Um, because that is a conversation you would want to have face to face, not over the phone or anything like that. So I think she just saw the opportune time and she took it,
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So I know that daddy issues, are some serious issues for a lot of people. I fortunately was able to grow up with my dad,
mhm,
and come from a two-parent household. So I was blessed in that capacity. Not
right,
everybody has that luxury. And even growing up in a two-parent household, you still can have a father there that's not so much present, you
right.
know,
Hmm.
so the same dynamics can still happen just in different capacities.
Um,
But what?
we have someone that typed in that
Okay, we got some comments. Okay, come on.
says, "What if Will Smith um, played the long lost father?"
Ooh, ooh, good one. Now that
Wow! Wow!
you know what? I got a feeling. I got a feeling that's gonna happen.
Wow! Wouldn't that be awesome?
I honestly have a feeling that's going to happen because just in a lot of and watching um, just different things online about the show, things of that nature, you've been seeing Will and Jabari together a lot. And Will's always talking about my twin and, things of that nature. And
Yeah.
so I would not be surprised. And it's believable because they do favor each other. And in how they favor, all of us, if we got true blood siblings, we resemble each other in some capacity.
Exactly.
And so we don't look exactly alike, but we're from the same bloodline,
Exactly. But
So
uh-huh.
that would be, man, you talk, man,
that
that would
question that
that would
question came from David Smith.
okay. Hey, what's up, Dave? Yes, definitely gonna have Dave on the show. Dave is another one of our talking buddies, our partners, who we have these conversations with all the time. So, Dave, thank you for that question, man. We definitely gonna have you on the show so you can ask these questions in person. So, yes, but that was a good one. That was a good one,
That
man.
was
That would, that would be
this.
that would be a show.
Woo.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna happen. I gotta mark count me today. Okay, Will Smith is gonna show up as the daddy in Bel Air.
Yes, I think that would be. Oh my gosh, that would be so great.
Yeah, man. Nobody. Well, some people may see it coming, but I don't think too many people would see it coming to actually be Will Smith to play the dad.
Yes.
But that would be powerful because
Mhm.
if you go from how that scene was played out in the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air when he was on the other side of it. You
Mhm.
know, imagine him now being on the other side of it as the dad
Yeah.
and the drama that's already in the show and how well they're playing it out. How
Exactly.
powerful this scene is going to be when these two come together. You know,
Ooh.
yeah. All right. So then let's talk about the reasoning that the mom gave when she finally did talk to Will. The reasoning that she gave for the father leaving. What you think on that?
Wow. And I think it's so much more to it because Vivian and Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, they really don't want Will's father in his life. And it's like, well, what did he do to them? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So I am so excited to see exactly what went down.
yeah.
What did he really do? Did he con them out of money? What?
I'm thinking it's got something to do with money. I mean, it has to have something to do with money, primarily from my perspective, because when the mom gave the explanation to Will, she said that basically he was doing a lot of get rich quick schemes
Right.
and that she was helping him in doing these and they just kept failing. it just was not panning out into anything. And eventually he got tired of her being on him and he left,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so I'm wondering if at some point they got Phil and Viv involved in on it, and they put in a lot of good money
And lost it.
and and lost it,
Mm-hmm.
and it leaves Vi in a bad place because she siding with her husband, you know, in soliciting their help. They do it because it's family and hopes that this will help get them, to possibly a level of status where they're at, and then it flops and fails. And
It's something to it, because remember when Aunt Viv said, no, we can't tell him, will hate us.
right.
So
So there's more to it, right? And that's what I was going to get to as well. That as well. So yes, I believe there's some money involved, but I also think that it's deeper seated,
uh-huh,
as to just how involved this whole thing goes,
exactly.
you know,
Hmm.
and why would Will hate them
Exactly.
for helping? I mean, it's
I'm
one thing if they gave and lost, but what did they do in return?
trying
You
to,
know,
it's more to it. It's more
yeah.
to it.
So I'm curious to see how this plays out. So we
Mhm.
might get some answers in tonight's episode.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait.
We're gonna see. I haven't seen any previews for tonight's show.
No.
And I purposefully tried to not see any previews for
Mhm.
tonight's show so that I could be fresh and wide open, to take it in. But now I will say this: keep staying on the same subject, with the dad and the dad's leaving. So I know being a man, you know, it's always a push to get the money, you know,
To be the provider.
to be rich, to be successful, that's all on the weight of being a man,
Mhm.
and to be black and already have the odds stacked against you,
Right.
trying to find a way to get to where all these other people are, there are no quick roads to really get you
Right.
there, you
No.
know. But at the same time, you keep hoping that there is, because
Mhm.
you have so much that you want to do, and because of the culture that we come from, for a lot of us as black men, and I speak for myself, me becoming a millionaire, multi millions in my bank account, I want that so that I can be in a position to help more people, period.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
know, and so for that, if I can get to that quicker, that means I can help people right now. I can
Mhm.
help my family right now. I can help my mom, not have to drive whatever she drives. Not that she doesn't, she actually drives a nice vehicle. But I'm just saying, if she drove a
Right.
bad one, it would be, or I just wanted a better one, or
Exactly.
just things of that nature. We
Right.
want our loved ones to be in a better position. Anybody that we feel we can help, that's been supporting us through all of what we're doing, you want to kind of, that would be a great way to give back to them to help them come up, um, so where I'm going with all that I'm saying is in this push and this drive and this want and desire to get there, do you think that Will's dad felt as though he lost all support in him
That
trying to do better, be better? And
I'm telling you, I know, I really feel like there's going to be so much more to this story. I feel like, honestly, I'm thinking now, I bet you he's successful now.
hmm,
One of those get rich quick schemes did pan out.
hmm.
Um, because at some point, most likely one of them did. You know what I'm saying? If he kept working at it. Um,
Or got to put in jail.
but you know what? They would have, I think they would have said that by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would have came out by now.
Or he's out.
Or he
He
could,
went
yeah.
and he's out, and now he's living, wherever he's at.
I
Because
just, I
Will
just,
put Jeffrey on the job.
I just feel like they didn't think he was good enough to be in Will's life, so they kept Will away from him. I'm telling you, Vivian wouldn't have said Will is gonna hate us if it wasn't something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, Will should have been reintroduced to his father. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, wait. You know what? I think you just gave me something. So I think what happened is the Viv and Phil and Vi. Well, not Vi, but Vi's in on it. But they gave him a large sum of money.
To leave,
Right. Yeah.
to
That's what
leave.
they gave him a large sum of money to leave.
Yeah,
And in thinking out loud about it, that would be one reason why Will would hate them, because why would you tell my father to abandon his son
I'm
for
telling
the
you,
sake of, you
it's
know,
something. It's something like that.
yeah,
Because why else would she say that? Why else would Will hate you? You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
all did something to cause my dad to leave me.
yeah. Hmm. Interesting. All right.
Mhm.
Well, there's so much more to Bel Air, and for those who have not gotten in on Bel Air, you need to get in on Bel Air. It is an amazing series. You can already see the passion in which we're talking about this show, and just how much depth there is, because we haven't even talked about Lisa and Carlton coming to a place of accepting Will and Lisa being together. And we got another question.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. All right. So we are going to take a moment to pause and allow some people to either call in or ask us some questions before we go into the next show. Um, I forget what the number is already, but it's 727 686 0512. Is that
Yes,
right?
that's the number. Yes.
Okay. 727-686-0512. You can call into the show right now and talk to us live on the air and ask us questions about Bel Air. Ask us questions about any other shows we're watching. You can even tell us what shows you're watching that has you feeling just as passionate as we are feeling about the shows that we're currently watching right now. So we're going to give some time for that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for some people to call in, things of that nature, we'll keep talking. And I want to move on. We still got to talk about power, but I want to move on and jump on this winning time. So the other day, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a week ago, what day was that you told me about
I,
winning?
I told you about it probably a week ago.
Okay, it's about a week ago. There we go. A week ago, she tells me about winning time. And when I first looked at it and she told me it was about the rise of the Lakers, I was like, oh, man, this is just another documentary. And the Lakers are trying to now, boost themselves the way the Bulls did, with The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and that whole story. So I thought that that's what it was going to be, more like a documentary. And true, it was a good time. That Lakers run, that dynasty that they had, and that battle between them and the Boston Celtics, always, meeting up head to head in the championships. That
Mhm.
was always, I mean, for us basketball fans growing up in that time frame, or even hearing about it, because I mean, I heard about it, but I got to see it in my lifetime,
Yeah.
before the Jordan era took over and all that good stuff. But
Mhm.
I just thought it was interesting that, there was this show about it. So I'm going into it thinking that it was a regular old documentary. And to my surprise, it is so much more than that, that I was just like jaw dropped, floored, and whoa, wait a minute, wait a
Oh
minute.
yeah.
And so I would say it really had, what kept me watching it is I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was watching a documentary. I didn't know if I was watching a comedy. I didn't know if I was watching a real, true reenactment of a story. I was just like glued, to see.
It it is. Did you see the last show?
Yes, I do.
It to me, it is showing it is giving us the very rise of the Lakers, definitely Irvin Magic Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
We're seeing where he came from.
Mhm.
Um,
We're
this
seeing it.
last show. Okay, did you see how he was so carefree with the women?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
that's youth. That's
so
youth.
but it gives you a peek into, okay, that's
Right.
led up to
What happened? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. It's interesting that having been in college and having been on sports teams and things of that nature, you know, um, that is a lifestyle that's pushed. It's pushed for you to, try and get with as many people as possible. Well, not as many people per se like that, but as many people that you deem of quality,
Right.
um, as possible. And then for some, it didn't even matter. Quality didn't matter. It was just access. If you can get it. You know,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and because of the type of player that he was,
Mhm.
especially in his young age, his college years, he was a really dominant player.
Right.
And so much so to where he had attention coming from everywhere.
Everywhere.
And
Mhm.
I will say that, you do have some stars like that, like your LeBron James, like your Michael Jordans, your Kobe Bryants, to where they are getting all this attention. And I admired how he handled it. I mean, he handled the attention that he was getting pretty well. I mean, he still managed his family life, and he still was able, and his family helped keep him grounded
I
to a
was gonna
degree.
say, I was gonna say he was able to manage his family life because mom wasn't having that.
Oh yeah, Mama wasn't playing.
Like when you at this house, you are EJ.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you're
yeah.
not
Mama wasn't playing. Yeah,
Magic.
right, right. Yeah, she hated Magic.
Yeah.
Hated that.
No.
Um, I do like how this story does take you into his family and show you what the home life was like. I do like how it does show how he dealt with, just certain things,
Mhm.
within his family,
Mhm.
and everybody was looking for him to, be successful. And I also, Cookie, his pursuit of her and how it just never wavered. He respected the fact that she knew where he was in this stage of
Mhm.
being a public figure now,
Mhm.
and I think that's a lot of what drew him, to her. The fact that she was down to earth to where she understood where he was, but at the same time, she wasn't dumb enough to allow all of, the who he was and who he is to like really, take advantage of her. And
Exactly.
so I thought that was really cool. Um, as a independent filmmaker, things of that nature, any entrepreneur, I'll say that. I liked switching to Jerry Buss, um, the owner of the Lakers. Um, that dude right there, he's
I
a
mean,
piece.
he to me, he's the true definition of a hustler.
Yeah,
He's gonna find a way.
yeah. He's gonna find a way, and his confidence is to the roof. you
Yes.
know. But I think also what helped his confidence was the fact that he knew he had, um, he knew he had some level of backing, like his mom. His mom was very much a part of what he did, you
Exactly.
know. And so I mean, she did all the taxes. She said,
She said we're gonna keep it in the family.
right, we're gonna keep it in the family. And I liked how it showed that he never lost sight of what he wanted. He wanted to own that team. He didn't have all that it took, to rightfully own the team, but he found ways to make it possible. And even once he got the team, he still had to deal with a whole lot. It wasn't like he just all of a sudden like became the richest man in the world, by acquiring this team. But there was still a lot that he had to overcome. He was in debt, and facing some severe debt, in taking on this team. But he believed so much in its potential and what could happen that he was willing to risk it all. And that's the true sight of a visionary. And I respect him for his vision for him to have seen that I can do this, I can have this, and to know that it's in his grasp, and to not allow anything to deter him, from that.
Mm-mm.
I thought that was like really, really interesting. But I'm loving how this show is like really showing you humble beginnings,
Yeah, yeah.
of each of and it's hope for us, because all of us, we all have humble beginnings,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all trying to get somewhere. We got some goals that we're trying to reach that's going to put us in a better place in life. And, there's a lot of things that has come along the way that has like knocked us off the path, but, to get yourself back on the path and keep yourself on the path is always the key that really gets you there. The support's going to come, but you have to be, strong enough to keep yourself on the path and realize when you're far off the path and start leading yourself back. And, realizing that sometimes had you not have gotten off the path when you did, it may not have taken you as long to get back in line to where you're going. But I don't know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Mhm. What I noticed too is a lot of these entrepreneurs, these men with money and everything, seem like they always have a connection to some type of bad
Yeah,
element.
mafia, some
Yeah,
of
some
that.
type of bad element is always in
My
the
money, my money, especially back in that day,
mix.
it really ran a lot of organizations, businesses
Wow.
that we thought were up and running, legit businesses, all ran by my money. You
Right.
know?
And it's like
So,
you don't make a decision unless we tell you
right, right,
that
right.
what
Yeah, like
what
when he wanted the coach from UNLV.
yeah,
He goes to
Tarkanian.
the Lakers, right? Tarkanian, yeah, and Tarkanian is like,
Yeah, he knew better.
yeah. He's like, nope, I'm not leaving. I got a good right here. Everything's great.
Mhm.
And then the dude who was trying to persuade him to go ends up dead
You
in the
see what
truck.
happened? You see what happens to him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah,
sent a message. Yeah.
yeah. So it was real interesting, to see that. I also like how they show that Magic still had a long road to go, a long hill to climb, even once getting into the NBA.
Mhm.
Um, that it wasn't just he picked right up and was
No.
a
Mm-mm.
star like automatically. No,
Mhm.
I liked how they really showed that yeah he was good, but he wasn't great, not
Yeah.
yet. You
You were
know,
the number one recruit, but guess what? You still have to show us.
yeah,
He still has to go to the team, get their respect. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You can't just walk on here and think you're getting ready to lead us. No.
yeah. And then of course, and he's young. I think he's like 19 around this time frame. And
Because
so
remember, remember he had at least one more year in college.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I know if I was a veteran on the team and I'm starting and you starting to hear these rumors about somebody else coming to take your spot, you know, that's a scary thing because it's like, well, once you go to the bench, you know your time is ticking on how much longer you're going to be
Exactly.
in, you know, because there's only going to be newer people that's coming in. It's going to
That's
only be
that's why I'm kind of leery about Norm Nixon. And don't get me wrong, I like Norm. I
yeah,
did. But now it's like, you know, is he really trying to help Magic or is he, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what?
trying to feel them out.
Norm, Norm is the starting point guard right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So yeah, little man, you're not gonna come in here and just take my spot.
right, right.
So
So
I'm
yeah,
kind
so
of leery on like, is he really looking out for him or is he just, you know, trying to keep his enemy close? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know how
yeah,
to you know what they're saying.
right. And the cool thing that I like about this show is that you're really looking at a series. You know, you're not looking at a documentary or anything like that, but
No,
they
this
are
is serious.
really, yeah, playing this thing out. And you know, at first seeing Jim O'Reilly playing the owner, you know, him and Will Ferrell are like tight, you know,
Mhm.
and when I saw him, I just knew this was going to be like a straight comedy. So I thought it was probably going to be a parody of, you know, all of this. Um,
Right.
you know, kind of like when they did, well, Will Ferrell did it, but it was a semi-pro. You
Hmm.
know, when he did the comedy about
Right.
basketball. So I thought it was going to be something similar to that. But no, I mean, it's based off of a book, you know, so the elements of the story are true,
I
you
mean,
know.
they're showing the raw um the realness of what these people went through. You
Yeah,
see, you
yeah,
see Pat Riley um retired and is like
what I
struggling,
do now, right, right. That's
because
what I do now with my
he
time.
doesn't, yeah, he doesn't know what he's gonna do next. It's like, I've been playing basketball all my life. Now what
Yeah,
do I do? You
yeah.
know,
And
so
then when he came, he had a meeting with the owner. And when he came for that meeting and they forgot to put him on the list, you know, he's got a championship ring on his finger. You
yeah,
know, he's a respected player, and you can't even get on to your old team's
he was like that man was serious. No, what is that? No retired
no
player,
retired players. Yeah, no former players.
no former players.
Yeah,
That's
that
so sad.
security was on. He was on it. He was not allowing anything or anyone that did not fit the criteria of who they said could come on to the property to happen. But
Exactly. So you
but
just, and then to see how Jerry West it was, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
this man was a mess.
yeah. I mean, and he wanted to win so bad. You know,
Yes.
winning was such a part of what he was used to. You know, and he at the time he was one of the top players in the NBA. You know, but he couldn't get over the hump of winning a championship. It's like every time you got there, that's when you found out that I'm just not ready yet, you know, or my team just isn't ready yet because
Yeah.
he would play phenomenal, but he felt as though the weight was all on him.
Yeah. They
And
always they always fell short.
yeah,
Like he couldn't get past that.
yeah. So for those who have not seen this series yet, Winning Time: The Rise of the Los Angeles Lakers, it really is a show to watch. It's HBO Max, so they spare nothing to the imagination. When we tell you they're giving you the real story, they're giving you a real story as to maybe not exactly how things happen, but things that did happen. And so they are sparing nothing to the eyes. So it is a really good show. It is adult based, so don't have your kids watching it. because Magic, yeah, this is not
What did Dad say? Are you eating good out there? Oh
right,
my
right, yes,
God.
and yes, and he's like, I'm eating well,
Yes, I was like,
very
okay.
well, and then they show what he's eating.
Um,
Yeah,
see, we have a let me see. I am waiting till all episodes are. Angela Richardson just said, I am waiting till all episodes are out.
so she could binge watch.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I got it. Look, we're spoiled. I think the pandemic has spoiled a lot of us to where being able to see all these episodes of shows that have been out for a while that we're just coming on to the knowledge of knowing. Um, I know for me personally, I've become a binge watcher to where I just want to see it back to back, and you
Yes.
know,
Yes. I'm spoiled like that now. I was like,
um,
I have to
I
just see
don't
all of them.
the fact that we got to wait for like Bel Air and Power, because we're caught up, and so we're current, and because we're current, we got to now wait till these things come on. What we got another one?
She's just saying she's a binger,
Yeah,
and yes, so she's waiting to binge all the shows.
gotcha. Well, once you start binging, you're gonna be glad that we put you on to these shows because they're definitely binge worthy and just great stuff. Any more?
Nope, no.
Alright. But yeah, but I do enjoy I do enjoy the realness that they bring in this show, and it has that light feel of comedy in it. And
Mm,
I guess because of the time frame and just coming from a technical perspective, they have the look of that time frame. It's the '60s, 60s, '70s, and the characters that are in it. You just like, and the way that they're talking to the camera, talking to us,
mm.
it has that hint of comedy, but at the same time, they hit you with that reality, you know, right in the same vein. And
And
so,
just and just
mhm,
like just like Bel Air,
mhm,
the one they cast for Magic,
yeah,
where did they find him? Because
yeah,
he is awesome.
he does favor him.
He
He does.
favors him. I mean, he has his mannerisms down.
Yeah,
It's like that smile, because Magic always
yeah. I was that
that
smile.
smile. Yeah,
I
that's
can't do it, but yes, he did have that
mhm,
smile.
yeah.
And so it's cool. It's cool to see, and I'm glad that you put me on to it because I mean I've even watched it. The two episodes that are out right now, I've even watched it. I've watched them multiple times.
Hmm.
Like I've gone back and watched them again because
Right.
I'm like, wow, okay.
Hmm.
And so and then to for those who kind of grew up in that era, or at least in the era of seeing Magic play, and to know, the type of player that he was, and to hear about how he was in college. You didn't get his first years in the NBA. I didn't get that. I got him way later in his career, but I still got to see the greatness of him,
Right.
you know. But I'm interested to see how that played out and to learn more of how he overcame all of the odds that were against him in order to continue to be that dynamic player that he has always been. And then to see how the Lakers themselves as an organization, because it says the rise of the Lakers,
Right.
and you know, and they definitely had to overcome a lot of adversity in order to get to where they were. Um, and it's interesting how looking at the Boston Celtics and how regarded and respected that team was. I mean, it was like expected for them to go to the championships every
Every
time.
year.
You
Hmm.
know, I mean, Red Auerbach, he has special cigars just for these moments made every year so that at the end he can fire it up. And it's almost like I told you so type of deal.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
even when him and Bus met, he still was like, you'll never,
Yeah.
you'll never get to this level, and you'll never know what it feels like to be here. But you can keep trying, but it's never going to happen for you, sir.
But in that moment, it told you a lot about Mr. Buss, Dr. Buss, because even though he said that, and he said it to his face, like you'll never do this, you'll never beat us. He stood strong. He stood toe with him and was looking at him like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because he believed in his team. He believed in the Lakers.
Yeah. And I saw some of my takeaways from it too. And speaking about Dr. Buss, he really valued his team.
Yes.
And he valued the people that were around him, and he never allowed them to lose sight that we're going to get out of this. And for everything, it was spare no expense. Whatever it costs, tell them we're going to give it to him. Type of deal. He was just that confident, and I'm going to figure out a way to get this. And for a lot of us, I think if we moved with that mentality, and just moving, and I say moving in faith. If you move in faith, faith moves mountains. And that's exactly what he did. He moved in faith, and in moving in faith, he believed, and he believed enough on and everything that he had around him, that he had all the right things around him, people around him, to get it done. And eventually they got it done.
Exactly.
And so, but I'm digging what this series is bringing. For those who are not binge watchers, you can at least binge 2 episodes. I think it's a third.
It's 3.
Yes. So you can binge 3 episodes, and you're right, there's a third. You can binge at least those 3 episodes and get caught up with us, so that next time when we're on next week, you'll be able to join in on the conversation with us. I don't know, Kawana, this has been great.
I've enjoyed myself.
Yes, I've enjoyed myself as well. We did not get the chance to talk about power because there was just so much goodness in Bel Air and you putting me on to this winning time. But please visit our website at thewayweseeit.weebly.com. Go to our comment section, leave us a comment, let us know what you're thinking, how you feel about the show. Tell us what shows you're watching. You can even do this on Facebook pages. On my personal Facebook, if you're a friend of mine, please comment there and let me know. Instagram, let us know. Or when you see me or you see us, tell us what shows you're watching and what you'd like to hear us talk about, and we'll be sure to bring that on with us next time. And outside of that, I'm Cranston Cumberbatch coming to you guys from way on the West Coast right now. And
I'm Kawana Norman. Have a great night.
All right. And this is The Way We See It. Y'all have a good one.
This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we 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 see it.